This is news analysis coming to you live on Politics and Business Television, Abuja. Good afternoon and many thanks for joining us. I am Omike Joseph Matthew. Senate bows to pressure, approves electronic result transmission. Abure faction reclaims LP secretariat as Namandi Usman camp kicks. Police confirms kidnap of 14 passengers in Benue. And on the foreign scene, 9 killed in Canada mass shooting. Details of the stories after the break. Do stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. The Senate on Tuesday bowed to intense public pressure and approved the electronic transmission of election results to the Independent National Electoral Commission's results viewing portal, while permitting manual collation to serve as backup where technology fails. The decision followed an emergency reconsideration of a disputed clause in the Electoral Act, Repeal and Reenactment Amendment Bill 2026, after days of nationwide outrage, street protest, and sustained criticism from opposition figures, civil society organizations, and youth movements. However, the upper chambers stopped short of making electronic transmission compulsory and rejected calls for the explicit inclusion of real-time upload of results, a key demand by protesters who accused lawmakers of attempting to weaken electoral safeguards ahead of the 2027 general elections. Under the reviewed provisions, presiding officers at polling units are required to electronically transmit results to the IRF portal after voting and documentation have been completed. The amendment, however, provides that where electronic transmission cannot be carried out due to communication or network challenges, the manual result sheet from EC8A shall become the primary basis for coalition and declaration. Meanwhile, Rivers State political tensions eased on Tuesday as former governor and member of the Federal Capital and Minister, of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, and his successor, Governor Simi Fubara, appeared to soften their rivalry following a final mediation by President Bola Tinubu. Wike, speaking shortly after inspecting infrastructure projects in Abuja, said intervention by President will be the last time. Fubara also spoke glowingly of Wike during the inspection of the over 50-kilometer Port Harcourt Ring Road project. He promised it will be completed and delivered by October this year. The developments came after both leaders met with the president at the presidential villa in Abuja on Sunday, a move described by presidency sources as a symbolic gesture of reconciliation. Abure-led faction announced that it had reclaimed the party's national secretariat in Abuja barely 24 hours after the Namandi Usman-led caretaker committee took over the facility. The Abure faction, through its national publicity secretary, Obiora Ifo, made an announcement in a statement issued in Abuja late Tuesday night. Ifo confirmed that the party's national headquarters, which was forcefully invaded in the early hours of Tuesday, has been reclaimed. The spokesman also sent photographs showing banners and billboards carrying the image of the National Caretaker Committee Chairman, Senator Namandi Usman, being taken down. However, the Abure faction claimed it had since regained control of the premises after determining that the takeover was illegal. On security matters, the United States has deployed over 200 troops to Nigeria to train the country's military in the fight against terrorists, according to a report by the Wall Street Journal on Tuesday. And American that the newly deployed personnel will complement a small number of U.S. military advisors already in Nigeria, who assist local forces with intelligence to identify targets for military strikes. Is confirmed kidnap of 14 passengers in Benue. Welcome back to the program, and now the rest of the stories. Benue State Police Command has confirmed the kidnapping of 14 travelers who were en route from communities in the Igede axis of Oju and Obi local government areas. According to the police, the incident took place on Monday evening along the Opoku corridor of the state. The police public relations officer DSP Udeme Edet confirmed the development and said security agencies had commenced investigations. The victims were said to be heading towards the southwest when their vehicle Uju and Obi local government areas. According to the police, the incident took place on Monday evening along the Opoku corridor of the state. The police public relations officer DSP Udeme Edet confirmed the development and said security had commenced investigations. The victims were said to be heading towards the southwest when their vehicle was attacked at about 7 p.m. along the Opoku axis. The attack occurred barely 2 days after armed men abducted 9 worshippers during a night vigil at St. John's Catholic Church in Ojile, or Uton 2025, up from 362.08 billion naira in 2024, according to Federation Accounts Allocation Committee figures released by the National Bureau of Statistics. The year-on-year increase of 93.30 billion naira represents a 25.77% rise in external debt deductions. The higher repayments meant that states forfeited a larger portion of their FAC allocations to service foreign loans in 2025 compared to the previous year. In practical terms, the growing debt burden further constrains the fiscal space available to subnational governments. With more funds committed to loan servicing and released 162.08 billion naira in 2024, according to Federation Accounts Allocation Committee figures released by the National Bureau of Statistics. The year-on-year increase of 93.30 billion naira represents a 25.77% rise in external debt deductions. The higher repayments meant that states forfeited a larger portion of their FAC allocations to service foreign loans in 2025 compared to the previous year. In practical terms, the growing debt burden further constrains the fiscal space available to subnational governments. With more funds committed to loan servicing and related obligations, states face servicing and related obligations, states face a tighter budget for salaries, infrastructure projects, and routine administrative expenses, adding pressure to already stretched finances. A breakdown of the 2025 figures: 0 billion naira in February and drop of naira 94.96 million naira, or 2.48% line. Foreign debt service stood at 40.09 billion naira in January before easing to 39.10 billion naira in February and drop of naira 94.96 million naira, or 2.48%. From March to July, deductions remained steady at 39.10 billion naira monthly. Another decline occurred in August when payments fell to 36.14 billion naira, billion naira, down to 2.94 billion naira, or 7.56% from July. And this lower figure was maintained through September to December. Was 2024, when debt service totals fluctuated more sharply in the early month before stabilizing later in the year. And now to the foreign scene. A shooter killed 9 people and injured dozens more at a secondary school and residents in a remote part of Western Canada on Tuesday before the suspects took their own life. The killings occurred in Tumbler Ridge, British Columbia, a prestigious mountain valley town in the foothills of the Rockies. A total of 27 people were wounded, including 2 with serious injuries and 25 who suffered non-life-threatening injuries. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police said in a statement. Canadian media have reported that the shooter was female, but the RCMP declined to provide any details on the suspect's identity in a press conference on Tuesday. And now to the world of sports. We now join my colleague.
Good day and welcome to P&B Sport News. I'm Abel Sunday. Despite an encouraging start, the Pride of Rivers suffered a second half collapse that ended their continental campaign for the 2025-2026 season. Halftime Rivers United took the lead in the 33rd minute when Steven Amayo scored from a thunderous long-range strike. They maintained this 1-0 lead into halftime. Second half, Pyramid FC responded with 4 unanswered goals. Mustafa Fateh equalized in the 52nd minute, followed by Mayon Hamdi penalty in the 77th minute. Late goals from Ode and Nasser stoppage time sealed the 4-1 result. This defeat confirmed Rivers United elimination from the CAF Champions League as they remain at the bottom of their group with only 1 point from 5 matches. Away from home, Manchester United were held to a 1-1 draw by West Ham in a tightly contested Premier League clash. The Red Devils showed flashes of dominance, but West Ham stayed disciplined and capitalized on their opportunity to secure a valuable point. Question will be asked about Manchester United consistency as the title race heat up. Meanwhile, Chelsea played out an entertaining 2-2 draw against Leeds United. It was end-to-end action with both sides displaying attacking intent. Leeds United showed resilience while Chelsea will feel they could have taken all 3 points. That's all for sports. I'm Abel Sunday.
Thank you very much, Abel Sunday, for that sport update. And we officially welcome you onto the focus of the day on politics and business at television. Tonight, our focus is on the deeply troubling development, the escalating wave of insecurity sweeping across Nigeria's north-central region, once celebrated as the nation's food basket and a shining example of peaceful coexistence among diverse ethnic and religious groups. The zone is now increasingly defined by Veto Plateau, Niger to parts of Kogi and Nasarawa. Communities are living under the shadow of fear. Farmers are hesitant to return to their fields. Travelers move with anxiety, and families are left counting losses after repeated attacks. The growing frequency of these incidents is raising serious concerns about safety, stability, and the long-term implications for food security and national unity. What is driving this surge? Are security strategies failing, or are deeper socio-economic and political factors at play? To unpack this disturbing trend and explore possible solutions, I'll be joined by a security expert shortly. Do stay tuned.